So, after much consideration, I want to welcome you all to the town of... Hi guys, and welcome back to the next episode of Misadventures. So, we have some updates. Now, if I look here, you can see my lovely area of Rustler's Reach, which is not the official name. I'm still thinking of one. If you have any suggestions, let me know. We're kind of going for like Gold Rush Town that was set up by some sort of big kingdom that has magic. And Stuart's just spinning. Are you okay there, bud? I don't think I was paying enough attention to Stuart. I'm sorry. Hi. You really are just like a big dog. You are. You've got a balcony, so you enjoy. I'm gonna go and show the people what I was trying to do before you had a little spin. But, as you can see, we have a wonderful area over this way. And, like I said before, I'm planning on turning the outside of this kind of like gatehouse entrance into farmland. And I've been busy. So, when you come through, you now see we have this massive field. I haven't planted any wheat yet because I don't have enough seeds, but I'm in the process of getting it ready. I've also meticulously placed every single mud brick and coarse dirt and tried to sort of blend it at the edges, make it look a little bit trodden, like this is where people are walking in and out to the fields. I put down these granite walls to sort of give some sort of a border, not fully, but just sort of imply that, hey, this is a field site, this is not. And I've connected the path that goes down there, which will lead towards where the animals are going to be, and over here to where I'm eventually going to have the Road Builders Guild build a bridge. We also, in this area, we have this little shape here, which I'm going to do as grain silo. So it'll go up a little bit. And I'm going to put a barn here. Just something where it's like they would keep the tools and the requirements. And if they had like to separate the animals, they'd put them in there and just things like that to sort of fill in the outskirts of the town. You can also see from down here that I'm also building my own like custom trees for this area. Not the entire area, but I've got the plan to have them dotted sort of, I think, maybe one here, one over there, one up there. And I'm trying to keep some sight lines open because when I have Bobby turned up and the render distance up, you can see so much more of Avid's area as it loads in. And it's so pretty. Like, I'm trying to play with like sight lines, similar to like in SOS, how I tried to keep it so I could always see how nice Flip's area was. I'm trying to do the same with Avid's because Avid's is going to get very colorful with all the leaves and glass and things eventually, and I think it'll just be a really pretty view. So I'm trying to keep this as sort of like an open view area. But this is one of the custom trees that I've got. There's actually very little wood involved. It's a lot of huffing things, and when you look at it closely, you can obviously kind of tell all the different parts, but it's from a distance that it looks really good. So I'm going to dot a few of these, and I've got another version that I'm going to put around and just sort of fill out the area a little bit just to help make it feel more like they've put fields around the trees and they've left the trees up to offer shade. I hope this all makes sense to you all because it makes sense in my head, but that's never been a good sign of anything. Also, rather than just go fully into a time lapse with this, it might be interesting to show you how I build the trees. So for some of my builds, I'll use a mod called like Matica, and all that does is it allows me to build something in a creative world, take a copy of it, and then put a hologram of that build into a survival world. And that means I'm able to see how things will look in areas and sort of move them around a few blocks till I get the positioning right before I commit to the build. It's very important when you're using it for a big build, sort of like that tower at the back, or my tavern, or even the gatehouse, because I was able to make sure that these lined up directly in line with each other, whereas I probably wouldn't have caught that if I'd just been building it freehand. And when you turn that mod on, it looks like this. So this is where I've placed the tree. I sort of figured out where I wanted it, and I've decided to plop it here. So now it tells me where all the blocks are and things, but it's hollow, so I can just cut through it. So what we're going to do now is just fill in the blocks. And like, this was already a design that I made, it's just saving me time sort of maybe building it in the wrong place. So this is what we've got so far with the tree sort of trunk, and now I just need to go in and add a bunch of the leaves. And there we go, we now have a full tree, and I can just turn the mud back off, and this is what we're working with. I just thought I'm so used to showing you all the time-lapse of builds, but never the process of how I do them. It's the type of stuff that I usually would do live when I'm streaming, which you can catch at twitch.tv/smajor, so you don't miss out on any Misadventures content. But I thought today it would be good to give you all a sort of mini TLDR. So now that I built one tree, how about we add some more trees? There we go! Look, I have trees. I've got them dotted around the side of the path here, all the way around to this section. And then I just put one on this little hill raised bit because I just think it looks cool. I don't think that one needed to be as close to the edge. But I'm really happy with how these have come out now. It's so fun. Now I just need to work on like actually making this a wheat field. I don't think I have enough seeds. This may take a while. Okay, so I've now made a little bit of progress with the wheat field. I'll just keep doing that as and when I can like harvest it and get more seeds. But I think for now, we should change our focus to the barn building. Because I want something here so that I can eventually obviously like fill out this area. It's also going to be the first build that like people will kind of see if they're coming by land to my area. So I want to make sure it fits in with the theme and the block palette and such. But I've shown you already today how I build, so let's, for this one, jump into a time lapse. We have the barn. I also, on stream, decided to build ourselves our little grain silo. It took me a while to figure out what design I'd want to like make sense with this area, but I'm really happy with it. It also now gives us a good little introduction to sort of the style of this area the moment you come into it. I love the mix of being able to see these two. You can see the tower at the top and you can see the archway of the entrance. Just being able to see the tops of the roof lines are really, really cool. Also, my wheat field is coming along quite nicely, though, as you can see, I still need to plant in all of this area, so I will do that at some point. It just took an ungodly amount of seeds to do this. I have picked up 2,940 seeds. 2,940. That's a lot of seed for one man. But don't worry, I'm not going to make you watch me plant more seeds. I'll do that off camera. And speaking of off camera, I built a well. Ta-da! I found a design online and then just sort of tweaked some of the blocks to make it match my area. And I also made it functional because if you're someone who comes and you need water from this block, it won't replenish. But there is an infinite water source down below, so you can just take it and fill it back out. It's great. Now this area has a good start of some builds, but there's not actually any like shops or player housing in this area. And I think this area would be really good for it. I sort of have this idea in mind for like a house with a bridge over it to like another one, and you can then walk through and come out to maybe either another house or a fishing shack or something down here would be quite cool. But to build, I'm going to need blocks, so let's grab some. Okay, so the items have been gathered. I have everything in here and a few blocks here, and I guess now there's only one thing left to do. Let's build! Have our first houses. I know they look a little bit odd because like this one's so like short on one side, but it was kind of intentional. Basically, this one will eventually be a player house, so people could buy it, move in, decorate, similar to like you could on Mediport and such. So this whole thing will be theirs. And then over here, I'm going to put some dirt and some vegetables. And this is going to be a little store, maybe like a farm supply or food or crop store or something, just to make sense for them having a little rooftop garden. And then they have access to the street there. And from up here, you can see the area is coming along quite nicely. And speaking of this place coming along, I think it's probably time that we actually came up with a proper name. Finally something to call it by, because right now it's technically been Rustler's Reach, but it's not something I've gone by, and I've purposefully said that's not the name because I wanted something more me. So, after much consideration, I want to welcome you all to the town of Soulspire. you wonder how it's spelled? It's Solspire. Kind of named around the fact that the very first thing we built in this area was that big spire tower in the background. And it kind of ties in with the magical and like savannah area we're in. So yeah, we're now living in Solspire.